everyone. I'm Matt Williamson. How's it going? I am recording this Tuesday late afternoon. Mike Tomlin had his press conference today. A little bit of news there. I mean, they seem optimistic, I guess would be the word, that Siamalu comes back in the mix. That's good. Slay is in concussion protocol, and I will tell you now, the league more and more, when you're in concussion protocol on a Monday or a day after the game, a week after your game, that you suffered it, almost never play the following week anymore. That's starting to really trend that way across the league. So I don't know that we can really count on Slay. But Siamalu coming back would be wonderful. I'm not here to recap the Tomlin press conference. I'm sure Chris and those guys and DK will be able to do that for you. But he did stress, boy, they've been bad on third downs. Boy, have they ever. But I want to talk about the defensive backfield, because some things that Tomlin did say is exactly what I was saying the last two podcasts we've talked, is I think the state of the safety position right now is the best it's been all year. And that's exactly what Tomlin said, more or less. And he also said they're really happy with James Pierre, is something I've been saying too these last couple of days and last week or so. So I think he's stepped up a little bit as a defensive player. We know that they like him a lot as a special teamer. And I want to talk defensive backs because, boy, was that group roasted by the Bengals, a couple weeks ago. Now, do we think that the whole defensive backfield is better now than then? I definitely think the safety situation is. And I'll be unbelievably critical if they keep the same game plan that they used against Cincinnati this time. I mean, you better change things dramatically. Needless to say, I almost didn't have to feel like I had to say those things. But there was a small move that I also think is telling. You remember Sebastian Castro. He was on the Bucs practice squad. Undrafted free agent out of Iowa. I thought he'd be a 5th or 6th round pick. Went undrafted. Was good in camp. I mean, he was somebody that I was sad to see not be part of the organization and be on Tampa's roster. Well, Sears claimed him, and they cut Juan Thornhill. And I think this move is more telling than just the swapping of bottom of the roster safety situation. First off, I don't think they're very happy with Thornhill. I also think Castro is much more special teams qualified than Thornhill. And I do think they're trying to figure out what they're doing post Killebrew core special teamers right now. They keep calling up these running backs, Sermon in particular. They moved Skoranek to the personal protector. There's been some shuffling that isn't talked about enough with the special teamers on this team. And I think that was a big part of grabbing Castro, maybe firm up that special teams role. Along those lines, Peyton Wilson is near the top of the team in special teams snaps. Maybe, and this is something Wes and I talked about on the drive, maybe, I'm just totally speculating here, that they might be thinking about upping his snaps on defense. So maybe you want to take some of his special team stuff away from him. Killebrew's already out. Okay. But I'm not here to talk about special teams on and on and on. But I do think it's a factor in this move. But with Thornhill out of the equation, your other safeties are now Castro, who's much more of an in-the-box guy than Thornhill, Duggar, Clark, Peppers. Thornhill was the only free of the group. All those other guys are much more strong safety than free safety. And Tomlin said this, and I think we've known it, that no one said the word permanent, but Ramsey is a safety now. He should be listed as a safety. If you pull up the depth chart, he should be the starting free safety. And I totally get that. And again, I think the tandem of Ramsey and Duggar is the best that the safety tandem has been all year. And I think that's been a really stabilizing group, a really physical group, smart, versatile. I like that pairing. I'm still intrigued with what Peppers might be as a Steeler, but that's been vastly delayed. I would love to see Peppers on the field ahead of Clark and all those things. But my problem is, what if, I mean, the corner situation is Porter, Slay, who's likely to miss this game, Eccles, and I think Eccles is better outside than at the slot, and Pierre, who's basically only an outside corner. And again, I think that Pierre is somebody that we are more and more fond of. Good. I'm far from out of the woods saying Slay is a capable or above average starter at this point. My point is, I just could see a day when Ramsey, unfortunately, could be pushed back to corner. Slay's not good enough. Injuries. Eccles should be outside, not in the slot. Ramsey should be your slot. Well, then what do you do at free safety? Like, I'm not saying you should have been married to Thornhill. Oh my gosh, what are we going to do without Juan Thornhill? But this is just sort of a puzzle that has me intrigued. It's great to sit here and say, and the Steelers basically have said the same thing. Ramsey's now a safety. Him and Duggar are starters. That's the plan. That's how it's going to be going forward. But it's real easy to see a world where Ramsey might have to get back to corner, and that would be problematic. But I guess you jump off that bridge when you come to it. I'm just saying, I like where they're at right now. I'm not exactly sold that Pierre is going to shut down Jamar Chase or anything, obviously, but it just is good. It could be a more fluid situation, I would say, than it looks here on November 11/11/11.
Football season's finally here. Time to check out the latest odds, futures, and win totals on the FanDuel Sportsbook. Think the Steelers are headed to the Super Bowl? Lock in your bets today. Whatever your game, FanDuel Sportsbook delivers the latest lines, futures, and specials, so you can join in on all the action.
For those of you who are doing real work in construction, in a warehouse, if you're a mechanic, if you want reliable, comfortable gear to help you perform well on the job, Brunt Workwear's got you. They have waterproof boots, safety toe, soft toe, pull on, or lace up, whatever you need. You can wear them to work, and if they're not right for you, send them back. I don't know any other brand doing that. Brunt was tired of the workwear brands out there cutting corners. You work too hard to be stuck in uncomfortable boots that don't hold up. So they built something better. Boots that are insanely comfortable and built for any job site. And for a limited time, our listeners get $10 off. Just head to bruntworkwear.com. That's bruntworkwear.com and use our code DK Sports, all one word, all caps, DK Sports, and you're good to go. After your order, they'll ask you where you heard about Brunt. Do us a favor and tell them it was from my show. Thank you so much. So I had mentioned that Tomlin mentioned, that in this Charger game that they weren't nearly good enough on third downs. Well, clearly, that's definitely the case. But I dug into it a little deeper too. And my big kick right now, and it has been really for pretty much the entirety of the year, is the biggest thing that's hurting this team is time of possession. And there's so many reasons for it. And, they don't run the ball enough or well enough. They don't sustain drives long enough. They've had mostly the last couple of weeks, I think it's on the offense much more than the defense, the time of possession problem I'm talking about. But early in the year, the defense couldn't get off the field, but they're getting killed in time of possession. Fortunately for them, Cincinnati's also terrible in time of possession. So maybe that's partial remedy. That being said, the third down stuff. So they were 2 of 11 on third down. And as I mentioned the other day, they did not convert a third down until very, very late in the game. Basically they were 0 for when it mattered during that game. Horrendous. But how about this? Over the last 3 games, Pittsburgh's converting just 15% of their third down opportunities. 15% on third downs over a 3-game stretch. And for the season, they used to be good at it. It has been pulled down so bad. They're at 36% for the year, which is better than only 6 teams. So they're 7th worst for the season. Clearly, they're the worst in the league over their last 3 games at 15%, which is just hideous. That's a problem, man, to say the least. Now, again, the Bengals defense can always be a remedy for a lot of things. They are 2nd worst in 3rd down defense behind only the Cowboys. So Bengals opponents are converting 49%, basically half of their 3rd down opportunities. That's just one little nugget I want to give you guys. 15% on 3rd downs over a 3-game stretch. That's like hard to do. I mean, couldn't be in 3rd and 1 once in a while and fall forward. I mean, holy smokes. That's all I got for today. I'm doing tons of research on Steelers Bengals and pretty similar to last time they met. But that's a wrap. Over and out.